Hello everyone, this is my third meditation log. I believe today is August something. There's a fly buzzing around. He was bothering me in my meditation for only a little bit, thankfully. I think I'm going to post the two old meditations that I originally didn't share because I wanted to do 30 days straight in a row. Honestly, really struggling to just do this every single day. I think that at this point now it's going to become kind of an end goal for me, but for now I'm just trying to get 30 meditations on the books. It's really tough to sit down and just be with your thoughts and work out the mental. So I actually sat right here today on this blanket again, same one that I used last time. It's nice to kind of feel the floor while you're meditating. Today I was very, very fidgety. Most of the time, or the last couple meditations, I've been really fortunate and honestly felt like I was getting, I don't know how to describe the meditative states, but I feel like I was able to get into like the actual flow state where you can kind of like really feel your emotions deeply. Today I was struggling with that a lot. I don't know why exactly. Potentially because I drank last night. I bought some boxed wine and watched Pokemon 2000. I was feeling really nostalgic. Also, I was feeling like I just needed some like comfort feelings. And then today when I woke up and I read my book, still reading this book about meditation, which is also inspiring all of these videos and stuff. And it was talking about how it was talking about like distractions from suffering and how so much of what we do is just distractions from our suffering. And then it got me thinking, like, watching entertainment, drinking, scrolling on social media, we're all distracting ourselves from what they call dukkha. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but dukkha is essentially just suffering. And it then put the thought in my head, which I spent all of my meditation thinking about, is like, what are we truly running from? And I don't have an answer to this today. I just thought about it for 15 minutes. Also, my meditation was 15 minutes today. But yeah, it was really interesting, I guess. I don't really have a whole lot to report today just because I ended up thinking about that for so long. I'm like, what is it that I'm really running from? The other thing that the book talked about today, this was the other thing I was going to say. I just remembered. My ADHD brain is spinning right now. I realized that what I think about before a meditation really like is what I double down on in the meditation. So if I read something beforehand, I'm going to end up thinking about that like more deeply. And I'd say that this experience is very similar to like a psychedelic experience where you double down on whatever it is you were thinking about, like what was ever on your mind. They say you shouldn't do psychedelic drugs unless you're beforehand in a good mental state, because then you'll double down on the positivity and you'll turn out to have a more positive output. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt about the meditation today. Sort of fell off at the end of last week, but these things happen to us, right? We fall off, we get back on. There's been other stuff that's on my mind, but I don't really care to share it all in a YouTube video. But yeah, last week, I feel like I'm trying to like debunk or like uncover all of the reasons for why I do certain things. I guess that's what we're all doing though, right? Yeah, short meditation log today. I don't really know if I have any other info. My brain is kind of just foggy today. I love you so much. I hope that you are finding time to do the things that you want to do. And I'll give you a quote from the book, or a rough quote, because I'm not going to quote it exactly, but pretty much just says, make time for it was pretty much just talking about how like people will say they don't have time to meditate, and imagine if you said that same thing about eating, and how like your bodily well-being is entirely dependent on like what you're putting into your body food wise. And then the book is like, if you don't have time to meditate, imagine how your mental health really is, because you skipped over one of the most important things to help it heal, help it function. There actually was one other thing in the book that I'm pretty much just translating this book now. That's what this entire log has turned into. Nothing deep and profound, but just a book reading. Oh shoot, and now I lost my train of thought. The nice thing is about these videos is they're not really for anybody except me. Oh, it was talking about how to be nobody and to do things with compassion. There's that fly. Is like the way of the Buddha, is to just do it literally as if no one is watching. But then it makes me question, it's like, why did I have to have a meditation log? Well, actually I said that at the beginning. The beginning is that talking about this kind of stuff is much easier for me than writing. And it's an exercise to, maybe the fly will like land right on my head. It's an exercise to talk about it and to verbalize it, because then if I can tell like a camera, I can easily communicate my findings to maybe a friend or somebody on the street. But it also talks about just doing these things without the purpose of trying to be seen and trying to like selfishly obtain acknowledgement from everybody in the world. And it's weird, because I think like human beings, we need to be acknowledged. That's really important. And we need to be validated by somebody. This is actually something I talked about in therapy, where I was like, I need somebody to validate me, you know, just like that isn't just me. I think it's important for one person to just tell you like, oh, hey, that's cool, you know? Which I actually already have received that for doing these meditation logs. I had a friend say, hey, I watched that video and that was cool, you know? Maybe if they don't interpret it the same way that you're interpreting the whole experience, it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of like an acknowledgement. But perhaps in deep wisdom, I will find out that I did not need the full acknowledgement of anybody. It's just kind of a weird experience, because I don't know, I've heard this saying before that's like we are birthed and we die alone, which is just sad. Like, you know, you emerge from the womb perhaps by yourself, sure, but you could say that about anything. But also like your mother is there, family is potentially there supporting. I don't know. Now I'm getting outside of the meditation and just talking about random shit, but there's just this notion of like doing everything on your own in society, and how there's so much praise behind that, behind just being able to do whatever you want for you, and that's the ultimate path. But like, living your life is important. It's important to help yourself and be healthy so that you can give back to other people, you know? Like, yeah, like get your shit straight on your own and figure yourself out, but also like cultivate a way to help people. And I think that like one of the reasons I've been on the journey I've been on to try and heal myself, a lot of it has been because I want to be able to help other people, and sometimes I feel like I can't because I'm so in my head about my own shit. And I think over time, like right now, I'm really just trying to feel all of my feelings and let them let myself like re-experience things that I silenced in the past, and kind of reach out to the kid that felt all that stuff and let him know it's okay. That's like the child healing part, you know? I think that the adult healing part is kind of preparing yourself to feel again in the future, to let yourself like fully experience life and be present. That's what like actual presence means, is that like something else will arise and you will be able to just feel the full extent of it and move through it with more ease than you did in the past. I don't think, you know, even really the most peaceful people don't move through things seamlessly. But yeah, I feel like I'm speaking nonsense. So I'm gonna hang up this 11-minute check-in. If you watched all this, thanks. You are so kind. I love you so much. Hold on to the things that you have around you and the people you have around you, and tell them that you love them, tell them that you appreciate them. There's really not much else going on in this world aside from the people near us. The most important thing. All right. Love you. See you next time.